The sun bled into the sky like a dying ember, spreading shades of gold and crimson across the endless prairie. Dust curled up from the trail, thick and heavy, clinging to every wagon wheel, every boot print, and every lonely dream that passed along that road. The creak of wooden axles mixed with the groan of horses, and above it all, the faint whimper of a small girl who held her doll tighter than life itself. Her name was Clara May, just 9 years old, with eyes that mirrored both innocence and sorrow, eyes too old for a child. She sat quietly in the back of the wagon, watching the horizon swallow the day. Her stepmother, Edith, sat stiffly on the seat, the reins held tight in her calloused hands. She never turned back, not once, not even when Clara whispered softly, "Ma'am, I'm thirsty." Edith's jaw tightened, but her eyes stayed on the trail ahead. "You'll drink when we stop," she muttered, her voice flat as stone. Clara's real mother had died when she was just a baby. Her father, Thomas May, had been her entire world, gentle, hardworking, and strong. He taught her how to whistle to the morning birds, how to read the shapes of clouds, and how to never give up, no matter how harsh life became. But when fever took him last winter, Clara's world crumbled. The ranch fell quiet. The laughter that once filled their home was replaced by the icy hush of grief. And in that silence, Edith Thomas's second wife revealed her true nature. She had married Thomas for stability, not love. And when he died, the burden of raising his daughter felt like chains around her heart. So when she packed up what little she could and joined a wagon train heading west, she took Clara along out of obligation, not affection. The road was long and merciless. The sun scorched by day, the coyotes howled by night, and Edith's patience thinned like worn leather. She often muttered to herself that she should have left the child behind. That day, the heat shimmered like liquid fire. The wagon creaked to a stop near a dried riverbed. Edith climbed down, brushing dust off her faded dress. Clara peeked over the side, eyes wide with curiosity. "Are we resting, ma'am?" she asked softly. Edith didn't answer at first. She stared at the horizon, her face hard and cold. Then she turned to Clara. "Get down," she ordered. Clara obeyed, clutching her wooden doll as she stepped into the brittle grass. "Stay here," Edith said sharply. Clara blinked, confused. "Stay, but where are we going?" "I said we." "Not you," Edith snapped. "You'll stay here." The little girl's heart started to race. But I don't understand." "There's nothing to understand," Edith interrupted. "You're a burden, Clara. You slow us down. There's folks ahead who'll find you. Or maybe the Lord will take pity on you. Either way, you'll be better off." Clara's breath caught in her throat. The words struck like a whip. "Please, ma'am. I'll be good. I promise. I won't ask for food or water. Edith's eyes flashed with something between anger and guilt. She turned away, climbed back into the wagon, and snapped the reins. The horses groaned forward. "Ma'am, please don't go." Clara screamed, running after the wagon, her bare feet kicking up dust. "I'll do anything, please." But the wagon only grew smaller. The sound of the wheels faded into the distance until the only thing left was the whistle of the wind. Clara fell to her knees, tears streaking her dusty cheeks. She clutched her doll, her small fingers trembling. "Papa," she whispered, "what do I do now?" The prairie answered with silence. The sky turned deeper gold as the sun sank lower. Somewhere far off, a hawk cried. Clara stood, her legs weak, and began to walk anywhere, everywhere, hoping someone might find her. Hours passed. The light faded to twilight. The world turned blue and cold. Clara stumbled and fell, scraping her hands. The prairie was endless, just dry grass, scattered rocks, and shadows that stretched like ghosts. She pressed the doll to her chest. "We'll be okay," she whispered to it, though she didn't believe the words. By nightfall, her voice was gone. Her feet were raw, and fear sat heavy in her chest. She huddled beneath a clump of sagebrush, shivering as the desert wind picked up. She thought of her father's voice, deep, kind, full of warmth. "The stars will always guide you, little one," he used to say. So she looked up at the sky. The stars glittered like broken glass. Somewhere among them, she imagined her father watching. "I'm scared," she whispered to him. And then faintly a sound. Hoofbeats. Slow, steady, growing louder. Clara froze. Her heart pounded. She peeked through the tall grass and saw a figure riding toward her. A man on horseback, his silhouette outlined by the moon. A wide-brimmed hat shadowed his face, and behind him trailed a cloud of dust that shimmered silver in the starlight. He slowed when he saw her, pulling the reins until the horse stopped. "Hey there, little miss," came a low, gravelly voice. "You out here all alone?" Clara's lips trembled. She couldn't speak. The man dismounted, his boots crunching against the dry earth. When he knelt down, the light caught his face, a weathered man with kind eyes, a scar across his chin, and a heart that had seen too much. "My name's Silas Boone," he said gently. "You lost, sweetheart?" Clara nodded, clutching her doll tighter. Silas glanced around the empty prairie, then back at her. "Ain't no place for a child to be out here. Where's your folks?" Clara's voice broke. "They left me." Something in Silas's chest twisted. He looked at her thin arms, her trembling lips, and he felt the ache of an old wound he'd buried long ago, the pain of losing his own daughter years before. He took a deep breath. "Well," he said softly, "I reckon the trail brought me here for a reason." He took off his coat and draped it around Clara's shoulders. "You're safe now, little one." Clara looked up at him with wide, tearful eyes. "Are you an angel?" she whispered. Silas smiled sadly. "Nah, just a cowboy who's been ridden too long. But maybe God's got plans for the both of us." As the moon rose higher, Silas lifted Clara onto his horse and wrapped his arm around her. The child leaned against his chest, finally letting sleep take her. The horse started forward, its hooves echoing against the silent land. Behind them, the abandoned trail stretched endlessly into the dark, lonely, cruel, and forgotten. Ahead of them, though, a faint hope flickered. And though Clara didn't yet know it, this was the night her life began to change forever. Silas Boone, the wealthiest cowboy in all of Texas, had just found the daughter he never knew he needed.